All right, so we've spent an awful lot of time on Creative Commons and licensing. What do we have permission to use? So now we actually have to find out how on earth do we get these images into code.org. Okay, so far, this is really kind of what we've been building on. One, we want to make sure that whether it's our personal images or artwork or creative work or someone else's, we want to make sure that we are being safe with content and we want to respect the creative rights of others. Okay. So our big question is, all right, how do we get this any kind of images on our website and make sure that we are giving people credit and making sure we're only using things we have permission for? So here's what you need to do. Get your journal and let's find the page with tags, and we are going to go to town on how on earth do we program images. Okay, pause this as you need to till everybody's ready. Make sure you have something to write with. Probably not a pencil that large, but you get the idea. Okay. Okay, so when we go to add images in code.org, we're going to have to do two things. One, you have to actually find the image. And then you've got to make sure that while you are searching for that image, you don't download anything until you make sure you can find the proper citation and permissions. Meaning you need to find an image that has Creative Commons licenses on it. Okay, so let's first talk about how do we get the image. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you have to go out there and search, and you are going to download the image onto your computer. Okay, do not copy and paste a link. So don't go in that address bar and copy the link. Nope, you have to physically get that image and download it. Now, here's what I want you to watch out for. We have to watch for what type of file you are going to try to get an image of, okay? Because certain ones work and certain ones don't. Here are the good ones, okay? The extension, meaning it ends with something like this, .jpg, .jpeg, okay? A .png. Those all work. In fact, in lesson 9, you'll actually get to work with a GIF as well. So that opens up lots of possibilities. Okay, so make sure when you go to save something, you'll go to save image as, make sure that you're getting a file like this. Those are the ones that work. Here are the ones that don't work. If you see something that says like WebP or M HTML, like this, like a media HTML. These ones do not work. Or if it's saying save as some kind of web page, those won't work in code.org. So if you're having trouble with those, sometimes we do a little workaround to get screenshots and things and try to make it so it's in this type of file. All right, so the first thing you have to do is download it. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is you will upload it into code.org, and we'll run through one of these. There's a little button. It says add image. It's that easy. Okay. And then once you have that, then you have to program it. Okay. And you program it in the HTML. So what does this tag look like? So you remember in HTML, we're always dealing with these greater than, less than symbols. That's how we designate it. And most tags that you've learned about, whether it was headings, paragraphs, lists, they have like a start and an end, okay? An open and a close. Well, the image tag is different. It's all contained in one thing. And here's what it looks like. So put a little star like this, okay? Start like this. And it's an image. So the abbreviation that we use for the start of this tag is IMG for image. Makes sense. Then you leave a space. And then we have to say, okay, what image do we want? So we have to say, well, here's the source for it. And we abbreviate this as SRC. So IMG space SRC. There's an equal sign that we put next. And then in quotation marks, here's where you have to type in the file name. That's supposed to be an I, sorry. Okay, so whatever the file name was, that's what you put in there, including this extension that's on there, like .jpg or .png. Okay, that's what goes there. Now, after this, we're going to add something extra because you've probably run into situations like this where you get to some kind of page and something didn't fully load correctly. You know, sometimes that's a problem on the programmer's end. Sometimes it's something to do with the server or your connection. And so what we want to do is put in some kind of backup so that in case there's some kind of error with seeing your image, that your user will be able to see what you mean and what that picture should be, even if it doesn't show up. So after you have the file name inside these quotation marks, leave a space, and then we are going to say, hey, alt, which stands for alternative text, we're going to say, I'm going to give you just a short little word or two that describes what the picture should be. It's only going to show up if my picture doesn't really load the way it's supposed to. So you say alt for alternate text equal sign, and then inside quotation marks, you put in some words that's a short description of what the picture is. You'll see an example of this in a minute, okay? Cool. Then at the end, after you have this, then we go like this. And sometimes you'll see you could end it like this, or it kind of bugs me that they aren't consistent with using a forward slash. Like we always end some kind of tag. So you can put a forward slash there and then that final bracket. It works both ways, with or without this. So don't ask me why. I didn't invent it. I'm just sharing how it works. Okay. Now, this is kind of cumbersome. It's kind of long and confusing. Code has made it easy for you. So don't freak out. All right. It'll be okay. Promise. All right. So that's what you have to do to get the image. You go find it, you download it. So it's on your computer. Make sure, and we'll talk about file names in a second, but make sure it's something easy. Make sure it ends in one of these extensions so it's a proper kind of file. And then once it's on your computer, then you upload it into code and then you program it and add it into your program. Cool. Now you aren't done because we still have to give credit to where you got this image. Okay. Even if it's your own, because some of you will do this when you get to your own project, you're going to add your own picture. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to put some Creative Commons license on there to protect your work. Okay. All right. So the second part, after you've got your picture, you have to give credit. So here's how we're going to do this. Typically, you're going to use a paragraph tag. Okay. And then every single one, we always say by whoever the creator was. Okay. By the creator, whether that's Taylor Swift or, me, whomever. You're going to put a name there, or if it's some username like you found on some of those ones when you were looking up the blueberry plant and the white-tailed deer or the polar bear, all that stuff. Okay. By the creator on what website? Was it Flickr? Was it Wikimedia Commons? Where did you find this image? Okay, on some kind of website. Do not say Google. Drill in to find where it was. Okay, and then you have whatever the Creative Commons license was. It'll start out CC BY and then whatever else it might have. I don't know. and then put a closing paragraph tag. Once we get into this, you may see that some people, instead of doing paragraph tags, they might use like a small H5 heading or something so that this isn't so blah right out there and kind of taking away from the rest of your web page. Okay, those are the two things. We're going to do some more practice and you'll add a little bit more to your notes next time, but I just want you to kind of see what it looks like. All right, now let's skedaddle or hop over to code.org. All right, so you can see this in action. And what I want you to do is get to code.org, lesson number 9. So here I am, lesson number 9, bubble number 1 or level 1. Pause the video till everybody can get here. Okay, notice these buttons here. Add image. All right, so once you've gotten out there and you've got an image that you like, you're going to come over here and click on this button and it will direct you, upload a file. You'll find it, you'll upload it, and then what's going to happen is it's going to appear in your file list. Cool. Just like your HTML files in here. And when we were doing things with cascading style sheets, that was a file in there. And now, see that little icon is a camera. Oh, smart. That's an image. Okay. Go ahead. And in this one, it says adding images is powerful. Okay. It will kind of show you here what it's supposed to look like. So on this one, basically what they want you to do is turn on the inspector tool. Okay. And then start hovering so you can see the lines of code that it applies to, specifically the picture. Okay, specifically this picture, which, goodness sakes, I should show it to you. Ta-da. Let me scooch down. There it is. Cool, family elephants. Look at line 13. This is the line of code that corresponds to programming this in here. Notice how it started. Bracket, img, space, src, equal sign, and then in quotation marks, the file name. Do you see this right here? This matches exactly the file name. All right, then alternate text. Then in here they said family of elephants. You could just say elephants. You could say group of elephants. You could say adult and baby elephants, whatever. Elephants in the jungle, whatever you want to put there. This text will only appear if the image does not load properly. Okay, so this is the backup plan. Notice that this alt equal sign, quote marks, and then there's that ending bracket. Now, you're thinking to yourself, how am I going to remember all this? So now here comes the easy part, okay? Go ahead and take your mouse or cursor, and what I want you to do is come over here to this file for the elephant's image and click on it. Because here's what happens, okay? It shows you here what the picture is. Cool. But then here's what's neat. So up here, these are just some of the predominant colors that are in the image. Don't worry about this. It gives you some information about how big the file is. Okay, code.org does kind of have a limit as to how big the file can be. Sorry, I don't make the rules. And then it also gives you information about the width and the height of your image in pixels. But then what I want you to do is scroll down. Okay, you're going to see some other stuff in here. Ignore the CSS part. We're not to that point. What I want you to look at is this box that says HTML. This is the code. Don't worry about having to retype this and be like, oh my gosh, is it IMAG, IMG? What is it? It's all right here. All you really have to do is highlight this. Notice here they got the /. All right. Copy it. And then when you go to wherever you want it to appear in your index.html file, they put this on line 13. Here's the only difference. When you go to copy this, the alternative text is just going to say image description, and you have to change it. Okay? In here, they changed it to say family of elephants. Whatever your picture is about, you must update it. Okay? That is going to be your challenge. All right. Now, today, I don't want you to go and do all of 9. There's a lot contained in here. And so I just want you to do like 1 through 5 in here. So you're really getting a feel for how image tags work. Make sure you are updating those image descriptions. Okay. If you just copy and paste it from here and you leave this as just image description inside the quote marks, you're losing a point because you didn't update it to whatever your picture is. These are the words that are there as the backup in case your picture doesn't work. Okay, cool. So again, levels 1 through 5. We'll tackle the next ones later. And if you still have work to get caught up on our review of Creative Commons or any other things, make sure you get that done as well. Alrighty, cool beans. And next time we'll tackle the rest of this. Awesome. Good luck.